What is it like being convicted for a murder that now this judge says she didn't do?
More than any other word, jubilant. You know, thank God he came along.
Guilty.
An 8 News Now I-Team exclusive. For the first time since the judge overturned her murder conviction, Margaret Rudin is talking about what's next.
She was dubbed the Black Widow, convicted of killing her husband in the 1990s. Then last month, a federal judge said there was not enough evidence to send her to prison and that her lawyer was ineffective.
The 8 News Now I-Team's David Charnes here now with Rudin's first interview since that judge sent her free. David?
Yeah, Brian, Denise, the state had a month to appeal this federal judge's ruling, and the state deciding not to retry Margaret Rudin. The clock officially running out in this infamous murder case. Now Margaret Rudin is talking about what's next. Why do you want to talk about all this? You know, why?
Because I'm 79.
Margaret Rudin says the justice system stole 20 of those 79 years. 2 decades she spent in prison for a murder a federal judge now says she didn't commit.
It's not about the truth. It's about who has the better attorney.
We find the defendant guilty.
In 2001, a jury convicted Rudin for the death of her husband, Ron. His charred body found near Lake Mojave in 1994, a month after he disappeared from the couple's home.
What do you remember from December of 1994 when your husband disappeared?
He had always cheated. And every time he would say, I'm not going to do it again, I'm not going to do it again.
In a 10-week-long trial, she was dubbed the Black Widow, painted as a wife out to get her husband's money.
What do you think of that moniker?
I don't think anybody would dare call me that to my face.
Prosecutors alleging Margaret shot Ron while he slept, but the federal judge finding there was no evidence linking her to the murder weapon, to Ron's abandoned car, or to a crime scene.
They didn't have enough evidence that it could have affected, yes, she could have done it, or yes, somebody could have come in.
The judge also finding Rudin's attorney, Michael Amador, who is now deceased, didn't do enough to defend her, saying he was more interested in fame than a ruling in his client's favor.
He was expecting that he was going to rise to fame, you know, make a lot of money off my case.
After 20 years in prison, the parole board granted her release.
What were those 20 years in prison like?
If you have to go to prison, make sure you're middle-aged or beyond, because the girls do treat you much nicer. You know, I was a lot of the girls' mother.
Last month, the judge issuing his order to vacate Rudin's conviction and scrub her record. Now, with plans to move out of Las Vegas, she hopes to write books about the trial and her time in prison.
Everything is broken down by year, and every one of them is going to be a book.
Moving forward, she says she wants to help other people, specifically women in prison. She says her faith is telling her everything happens for a reason.
It didn't make me bitter. It didn't. There were times like I didn't think I'd live through it, but I don't think I'm cynical. I'm not bitter.
Now, the judge also writing about potential other suspects in this murder case, including people after Ron Rudin's wealth and investors in his businesses. Margaret Rudin says she is dating a new man and they plan to move away out of Las Vegas together. I'm David Charnes, live, local, now.